Okay, on to roasted veggies. Super easy. This is mostly about making sure that your cuts are uniform. These are ones that I've already cut, and you can see this guy is the same as this guy. Red pepper, you guys aren't doing a red pepper. You're saving your cauliflower for something else. But these carrots, same size as the zucchinis. You really just want to make sure everything is the same size. That's the biggest tip. Let me show you how to do these. Okay, so these have all been washed, so you don't need to worry about this. The great thing about roasted vegetables is that if your veggies are a little bit soft, it's the perfect way to cook a vegetable and not worry about it. So I'm gonna get rid of this part because it just has a lot of bad pieces on it. Cut off both ends. This is your zucchini. Yours in your box is a little bit lighter colored. It's called a Mexican zucchini. Same thing, they're both delicious. I'm gonna start this one for you guys, holding it on both sides of the knife. You have a much sturdier, base. Cut that in half slowly, and then you can cut, you have a good sturdy base right there. Okay, the next thing you're gonna do is cut it in half again. And now we'll begin our dice. Claw, nice grip on your knife, and then just slowly slide down. Just make sure that you're sliding down, again, keeping your pieces of the zucchini about the same. And there's your dice. Throw them on your pan or in your bowl because you're gonna toss them with your oil. And we'll move on to the next veggie. Easy, slow rocking motion. Okay, the next vegetable that you guys have is a yellow crookneck squash. This is a summer and fall veggie. Obviously it's related to the zucchini because it's a squash. One thing you'll notice about this is you have the end here that's a little bit more narrow than this. So we need to make sure that we're getting all these pieces the same. So what I do after I've cut off both ends is I then cut the neck off, and I'm gonna use it, but I'm just gonna set it aside. Now you have something similar to your zucchini. Cut it in half lengthwise. Get it down nice and stable. Cut it in half. Cut it in half one more time. And then again, just like you did with your zucchini, your rocking motion, and pop it on your tray. I'll do these guys later. Fantastic roasted, I love them. Cut your ends off. Now you can do peeled or you can leave them unpeeled, doesn't matter. The peel's not bad for you, just make sure you give it a good wash just like you did your potatoes last week. Okay, again, you wanna look at the size of your carrot and you wanna look at the size of your veggies that are already cut. This is a pretty skinny carrot, and so I'm not even gonna cut it in half. I've got my claw all the way back here, my grip, oops, that little guy got stuck under there, and I'm just going down, same rocking motion. I'm not lifting the tip of my knife at all. This end is a little bit big. I'm just gonna cut that in half. Add it to my tray. Look at all those beautiful colors. I love it. So pretty. Okay, this is probably a veggie that you are not familiar with. This is a beet. And beets are delicious. They grow in the ground just like a potato. And so these are pretty thick skins. You definitely need to cut these. You definitely need to peel these. You're gonna take the ends off. And these are gonna turn my fingers purple. It goes away. This is what they used to dye their hair with. People used to take beet juice and dye their hair with it. Okay, I'm gonna peel this in a second, but in the meantime, I'm gonna just remind you of how to do an onion. So you can cut the little end off to give yourself a solid base. Then you're gonna cut through the middle this way. Peel your skin off. Remember you did this last week, so this is a review for you. And again, if you feel comfortable, you can do a dice like this first. or you can just go this way. We're doing a larger dice today because we want them to be about the same size as our roasted veggies. So I'm actually gonna cut all the way through that way and then turn it and cut all the way through this way. And I have a larger dice. And it matches the size of the vegetables that I'm roasting. Kind of separate them when you put them together. All right, I'm gonna peel my beet and I'll be right back. All right, I peeled the beet. I'm not gonna lie, my friend Katie peeled it for me. Because I was doing the potatoes. Anyhow, here's your peeled beet. And again, we gave it a nice flat edge so that it won't move. Get your claw, and you're gonna first do some larger slices. And then you're gonna stack those slices and you'll just give them a nice chunk. That's it. So your beets are gonna be the same size as your carrots, as your zucchini, and as your onion. All right. The last veggie that we're gonna do, actually, only the honors class has. Next year, everybody else will get to try this veggie too. So we're done if you are not in the honors class. If you're in the honors class, meet your fennel. If you smell this, you will know exactly what plant it is related to. Yes, the licorice plant, black licorice. Start by cutting off the ends. This you can actually save. Many people roast vegetables with this. If we were doing our pork tenderloin today, I would actually have us use this fennel in our roasted pork tenderloin. Pork and fennel is a phenomenal combination. So for today, sadly, in the trash. Okay, so now you've got your fennel bulb like this. You want to get rid of this end. It's pretty, it's pretty thick and it's really a little bit hard to cut through. It's a good thing you have a sharp knife. So get the end off, and then you'll peel this outside layer, mainly just because it tends to have lots of dings and yuckies on it. Okay, so get rid of that, get rid of that. Now you're just cutting like you have a celery. Smell it. Pull the leaves out, give it a chop down the middle. Again, the main thing that you're looking for is you're looking for making it the same size as your veggies. This is really delicious to eat. So if you're brave, give it a taste. If not, then go ahead and wait until it's roasted. Okay, so I just suggest going one leaf at a time. I'm gonna cut up a little bit further just because my ends aren't peeling off as well as I want them to. So once you get down here to this very, very last center part, like this, you're just gonna cut this end off a little bit higher to separate it. And then you can cut these, just like that. And they'll be fine, and they can go straight into your pan. Back to your petals of your fennel, and you can cut those, add those to your sheet pan, and then douse it with some oil, throw your garlic in there, and pop it in the oven. That's your roasted veggies.